Thank you very much. I'd like to open up with questions and then recognize our ranking member. I first of all would like to hear from you on what do you feel that we here in Congress can do or should be doing to help increase the capital opportunities. And if you could just explain why, I know we have farm credit in my part of the country, we call it Ag South, and they're really the lifeline. And so I'm trying to figure out what we here in Congress can do. What types of legislation should we be putting forward to address this issue of being able to increase the capitalization of our farmers?
Well, I think, Chairman, if I look ahead, my number one concern is profitability in agriculture. And I think we'd all agree, the agricultural table, that restoring our markets would be critical to looking at a long-term solution to bringing us back to profitability. We've received MFP payments, short-term payments, which have helped shore up short-term deficits. It's been welcome. Long-term, though, we need those markets back. We need to depend on those markets. And I know what's immediately in front of us. You asked what Congress can do. We've got some trade issues out there right now. USMCA in front of us, possible bilateral with Japan. I think passage as soon as possible on those two issues would build a strong case and build a good situation for us.
Could you repeat that again?
I would say the two big issues of trade that appears to be in front of agriculture right now is USMCA and a possible bilateral with Japan. And swift passage of those, I believe, would certainly assist us in our negotiations with China. The more allies we can bring into this whole trade negotiation, this global trade negotiations, the stronger our position is. Certainly, I would hope that's a goal of Congress.
Okay, very good. You're saying quick passage of UMCA would
Yes,
be one of the things.
Would be wonderful, sir.
Now, I want to ask you, because we've had a series of suicides
Yes.
with our farmers.
Yes.
And from the information that I've been able to get so far, it's because they're losing their farms. Mm-hmm. Do you have any insight on what how does this proceed? I'm trying to find out where we could intercede in this chain to try to prevent this drastic ending. Is there some kind of function we can do here within our agriculture department that we can communicate out so people will have a helpline that we could get something to them if there's some pattern that they're having this difficulty? We got to stop this suicide, and it's because they're losing them farms. What can we do?
Well, FCA and the Farm Credit System needs to be an empathetic lender. And I think in a lot of cases that loan officer, that lender is in the front line of recognizing potential problems that could lead to, as you say, the suicides. And of course, we started farming in the early 80s. We had a lot of friends who lost their farms, and we saw firsthand a farm isn't just a job. Okay, your whole identity is in that piece of land. And I saw firsthand what that'll do to the psyche of that father or their son or whoever that loses it. I know some of your representatives today have been engaging in potential legislation that would assist in looking at this issue. I know my time's about up, but I know the Farm Credit Council has also contributed to grants to educate mental health providers on the challenges in agriculture.
But do you think that if we established a help line here within the agriculture department and get it disseminated out, that could be a help?
I think anything that could be done would be of help, and anything that FCA is regulator of the system in the way of guidelines to the system. If we could be of assistance, we'd like to be part of that conversation.
Right. Thank you, Chairman Smith.